top question asked of us from most all of our clients is, what computer do I buy? And that is a good question because you don't want to have to double buy. That is, you bought a computer, it doesn't meet your needs, and now you're out buying another computer, and you kind of just have to figure out how you don't lose your money with this one. Or you have to upgrade the computer that you bought, which means more money, more money, more money. We don't want to do that. So want to get it right the first time, and that's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you a base computer that covers about 90% of Americans' usages out there, computer users' usages, all right? This isn't meant if you're like a gamer and you're looking for a gaming PC. That's not what this video is for. And if you do high-end editing, pictures, videos, things like that, this is not what this video is for. I'm going to give you a basic usage. I sent my kid to college and I need a good computer that's going to last them through college. I'm going to give you that. You're dealing with an office, you're an admin and you're buying computers, or an MSP and you're buying computers, and you need to know what you can buy. I'm going to give you that. My name is TJ. I'm an MSP, been an MSP for about 15 years now, and I'm going to give you the exact system that covers 90% of the needs of my clients. This is what I do, man. This is what I do. All right, our number one evaluation point, this is something that you gotta know before you buy another computer. What operating system do I wanna use? They call it OS. And I'm gonna tell you, if you're in America and you're not just like this big tech guy, I'm telling you, oh no, I'm begging you, go for Windows. It's gonna save you a headache. Unless you're doing editing or something that's, you know, more niche specific, do Windows. 90, or I'm gonna say 98% of the software out there and cloud processing that's out there is made for Windows because it's so popular. Okay, here we go. So if you're gonna choose an operating system, I'm gonna say go for Windows. If you're in business and you're not specializing, go for Windows. If you're sending your kid to school, go for Windows. They're gonna wanna be cool and they're gonna want that Apple. No, no, no. Get them a Windows operating system. It's gonna last them through their 4-year degree and further if they take care of it. So if you're gonna choose Windows operating system, which one am I gonna choose? Am I gonna choose the home version, save a little cheddar, or I'm gonna choose the Pro? Now you know where I'm gonna tell you to go with this. I'm gonna tell you to go Pro. See what I did there? Yeah, I'm gonna tell you to go Pro, for real. Pro has the abilities to secure your network, and you gotta know right now that security is a big deal when it's going to your computer. What do we do on our computers? I check my, what, bank account? Cheater. I check my credit cards. I'm emailing private messages back and forth to my parents or something to that effect. I want to secure all this stuff, especially my bank account. If you ever deal with identity theft, it's horrible. I don't want to go through that. So identity theft alone, just to take that off of me, let's go Pro. I want to do Pro. I want a Windows recent model, right? Recent version, but the Pro edition. So right now we're in a 10-11 era, and so Windows 10 or 11, if you had to buy right now, what I'm going to tell you, tick-tock, tick-tock, I want you to buy a Windows 11 Pro. Go Pro. Number one, go Pro. Number two, we're looking at processor, and I'm just a big fan of giving my clients something that's stable. I'm a consultant and I do MSP and manage networks. I want something that's stable. I want something that's stable. I'm not trying to fight the IT war. I want something that's stable. Listen, AMD is good, but I'm telling you, Intel is a solid brand to go with. Step out on Intel, and if you're going to do Intel, i5 is your 90%. It's going to cover most everything. If you need a little more, go i7. Hit them for an i7. But I'm telling you, i5 is going to be where you want to be. Do an Intel i5 for a processor. If it has it in there, that is your number two must know before you buy a computer. Number three is RAM. If I didn't know what I was talking about right now, you would say, man, that dude's low on RAM. But I do know what I'm talking about right now. Not only because I have a list up under this camera, but I do know what I'm talking about right now. That is the RAM part of a computer's memory. What I'm doing right now. That's what you're looking for RAM. And the sweet spot, I'm going to say the sweet spot, the very minimum amount of RAM that you want is 16 gigs of RAM. And if they come to you and they say, hey, I got this one that's 4 gigs, it'll do the job. No, tell them no, I know what you're trying to do. You're not getting my money. Tell them you want 4 gigs of RAM. That's like committing suicide. That's a horrible one. Okay, it's like committing computer end of life. I don't know if I can say suicide online, but it's like doing a bad thing really bad, right? Do not go for 4. They also got 8 out there. That's 2 4s. 2 bads don't make it good. Don't go for either one of them. 16 gigs is minimum. That's if I'm buying residential, I'm buying for my kids going off to school or my kid in high school. 16 gigs is minimum. If I'm doing an office rollout, 16 gigs minimum. I'm telling you, from both sides of this thing, if you're getting the calls to fix it or if you're the end user, 16 gigs of RAM is where you want to be. That's why I stressed it so much. Number 4, what kind of hard drive do I buy? I'm going to tell you what kind of hard drive you buy. You buy an SSD. I'm going to slow down and I'm going to say it. SSD, solid state drive. SSD is where you want to go. Now there's a couple of versions out there. You have these M2s and these SATAs. I'm going to tell you, if you want to save a little money and they'll let you do it, tell them you want a SATA SSD hard drive. And if you want to be very specific, and I'm going to throw this out there for kicks and giggles, do 256 or 512 gigabyte hard drives. That's it. But make sure it's an SSD. Now the caveat, since I opened that Pandora's box on the size, let me tell you this. 256 gigs, if you're not storing a lot, it's cool. I normally, if I have to buy it, I'm gonna put it on a laptop. If you're just wanting to cut the head off the snake and I don't want to weigh and see if I store a lot of information, then I'm telling you, go with 500 gigs. Now the 256, a lot of us are familiar with that because cell phones, 256, that's how big they are. 256 is cool, but if you just want to be on the safe side, do SSD hard drives. Say that if they'll let you. If not, I'm okay. Then you'll do 500 or 512. Different people call it different things. Different companies call it different things, but 500 gigs of hard drive. Number 5, how do I choose a brand? I'm going to tell you how I choose it, or what brand that I choose after this, but I'm going to kind of give you the walkthrough on how why this is even a topic on there. The brand is important merely because I don't want to buy from somebody that's not willing to support what they're selling me. And so what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to go to how you support your product. Your base package support, and maybe the first tier should give me all the information I need to know about whether or not you believe in this product. If you're only giving me a 30-day to check this out before I can send the whole thing back and tell you it's not good, then I'm not buying from you. I'm going to go the one with the longevity, the one that tells me, hey, you got X amount of time, and it's a pretty good amount of time. Maybe that X amount of time is 6 months, maybe it's a year, I don't know. But I'm going to give them the one with the most amount of time to evaluate this product to see if I really like it, right? If you do that, you're going to get a good product. You might run into a dud on some of the hardware, but guess what? If I bought from a brand name that I can call up that has good support, I can send it back without any problem. Here's some of the things I don't want to do. I don't want to be on the phone 8 hours trying to troubleshoot this thing with you. That's not something I want to do. You know, I don't mind jumping through a few hoops, but I don't want to jump through all of the hoops. That's number 1. Number 2, I don't want to be on the phone pushing number 1 or number 2 for 6 hours through 75 different prompts trying to get to the right person. I want the least amount of prompts to go ahead and get to a person that I can talk to so we can get this system resolved. All right, with that being said, I'm going to tell you, I like Dell. I think they're a good balance between price, product value, and support. And talking specifically about the support, I like having a rep. Assign me a rep. I do business Dell, even for my home or for orders for business. And I like being able to call somebody directly and they give me a number and a prompt sequence or a number and an email or something like that, and I can get it done, taken care of quick as I can. So when you're choosing, I don't know who you're going to choose. Maybe you're going to choose Lenovo. Maybe you're going to choose HP. Maybe you're going to choose Dell. But I would look at the support that they give you and let that dictate what brand you go to, right? Because the support is key. What's the key? How do we get in here? Oh, I gotta find the support. All right, so that's the 5. We got the operating system, we got the processor, we got RAM, we got the hard drive, SSD. We want to do SSD, and we got the how to choose a brand. We choose the brand by the amount of support they're trying to give me if I buy your product. And then we're going to do the 3 things that I promised. And you stuck around to the end, so we love you. Listen, whatever we want to do. If you're a business, this is really going to be killer for you. Listen, number 1, dual monitors. You may think that it's a luxury when you look in and say, oh, he got dual monitor, he's special. Do you know that it is important for you to give your clients dual monitors? It's 42% productivity important. What does that mean? That means that studies show that people with dual monitors their productivity increases 42%. Oh, that's a lot. It's almost 50, right? But it's 42. 42% increase. That means the dual monitors will pay for that system within that 3 to 5 year rollover period. It pays for itself. Number two, do I do wired, wireless, and wired? Which one do I do? I'm going to tell you from an MSP perspective, do both. Let me tell you why. As an admin, I'm going to tell you the same thing. Listen, you have a service level agreement with the company if you're an MSP, and then if you're an admin, you gotta shine. Everybody's looking at you. Everybody's saying, oh, is he a good admin or he's not a good admin? What you wanna be able to do when a computer loses connectivity, you wanna immediately be able to tell the individual, hey, click over to the wireless and I'll get to the issue. All right, it's going to take you at least 30 minutes to an hour to get to the company. You want to be able to tell them to do something now so that they're not pouring more money into this build by loss of productivity hours. So we tell them, when we do builds, if the budget allows it, we do wired and wireless. It saves them money in the end. Sometimes it has the potential to add to the pay for product, right? So we do that. Number three, desktop monitor size. There is a waste of money once you start going past 27-inch monitors. It becomes overwhelming. Now I'm looking at this big screen and it's overwhelming. This is almost 20 years of experience that I'm having. I'm telling you this. Don't waste your money on anything larger than a 27-inch monitor. If you need something bigger than a 27-inch monitor, just tell them they're mistaken. They don't need it. You thought I was going to go somewhere else with that. No, that's what I'm telling you. No, 27-inch monitors or 27-inch dual monitors is perfect for any build that you have. Any build in this 90% range of which we're talking about, dual 27-inch monitors. I'm going to give you two caveats that may contradict what this says, okay? If you're an editor and you're editing a lot of videos, well, you may want a wider monitor because of that timeline. It just makes it easier, right? Or, this is more specific to what we're talking about, if you're that individual, if you're ordering for that individual that wears multiple hats, I mean, this dude has about 27 hats on, get this guy a third monitor, right? And turn it sideways. Turn it vertical, right? You aren't doing the big monitor, so we're not contradicting that away, but you're gonna do another 27-inch monitor and maybe turn it vertical. And that way he has that, listen, you're hitting for that 42% increase in productivity without wasting your money. These three enhancements to your purchase will get you there. Dual monitors, wired and wireless, and do 27. Don't overwhelm your clients, but give them to the sweet pot. Listen, my name is TJ. Bro, this is what I do, man. This is what I do.